In 2014, when Emily graduated from college, her grandfather surprised her with a gift she would never forget: $10,000 in cash. It was more money than she had ever held in her life. He gave her simple advice: don't gamble it, don't take risks, put it somewhere safe and use it someday when you really need it. Emily listened. She opened a savings account at the neighborhood bank her family had trusted for generations and deposited every dollar. She checked the balance every few months, smiling as it slowly crept upward. The account earned about 0.05% interest, which meant she made only a few dollars per year, but that didn't bother her. The money wasn't about growth. It was about safety. For 10 years, she felt smart, responsible, disciplined. Then, in 2024, Emily decided to buy a dependable used car. She walked into a dealership, found a well-maintained Toyota Corolla, and planned to use her savings for the down payment. The price? $23,000. Out of curiosity, she checked what the same car would have cost back in 2014. Around $15,000. That's when she opened her banking app. Her balance showed $10,058. A full decade of interest had earned her just $58. But the cost of the car had risen by $8,000. In that moment, something hit her hard. Her money hadn't been sitting safely all these years. It had been quietly losing power. The number in her account stayed almost the same. But what that money could actually buy had shrunk dramatically. This is the truth most people never realize. Money doesn't just need to be protected. It needs to keep up with the world around it. My name is Alex, and I spend a lot of time thinking about why the place people trust most with their money is often the place where their wealth slowly disappears. If you keep cash in a savings account because it feels safe, if you feel comforted when your balance never goes down, or if you believe not investing is the responsible choice, you need to hear this. What I'm about to explain is how inflation silently drains your purchasing power, why banks benefit from your caution, and why the money you think you're protecting is quietly shrinking. I call it the savings account trap. Here's the core idea. A dollar is not a fixed unit of value. It's a unit of purchasing power, and purchasing power is constantly eroding. Most people focus only on the number they see in their bank account. Emily saw $10,058 and assumed her money was intact. But that's the nominal value. What truly matters is real value, what that money can actually buy in the real world. Between 2014 and 2024, prices in the United States rose by roughly 30%. That means something that cost $100 in 2014 now costs about $130. In real terms, Emily's $10,000 had the buying power of only about $7,700 from a decade earlier. She didn't lose money because of bad investments. She didn't make reckless decisions. She lost money by doing nothing. That's what inflation does. It punishes inactivity. Traditional savings accounts pay extremely low interest. Even today, many large banks offer less than 0.5% annually, while inflation often runs between 3% and 6%. That gap represents your real loss. You're not earning money. You're slowly falling behind. And this effect compounds. Imagine someone leaves $100,000 in a savings account earning 0.5%, while inflation averages 3.5%. After 1 year, the balance might rise slightly, but the real buying power drops by thousands. After 5 years, the loss becomes significant. After 10 years, nearly a third of the value disappears. After 20 years, half the purchasing power is gone. No crash. No warning. Just quiet erosion. Meanwhile, the bank isn't simply holding your money in a vault. They're lending it out. Mortgages, business loans, credit cards, auto loans. They might pay you 0.5%, but they earn 5%, 10%, even 20% on the same dollars. Banks profit from the spread, and your low-interest savings help fund their business model. This isn't corruption, it's simply how banking works. But most people never stop to examine the math. The real danger here is psychological. We fear visible losses. We panic when investments drop. But we feel calm when our savings balance never changes. Behavioral economists call this loss aversion. We'd rather accept a slow, invisible loss than a temporary, visible one. Watching an investment account fluctuate feels scary. Watching a savings account sit still feels safe, even when it's costing us money every year. Ironically, the asset that feels risky, the stock market, is the one that has historically built long-term wealth. And the asset that feels safe, idle cash, is often the one that guarantees long-term loss. Over the last century, diversified stock markets have averaged around 9–10% annual returns, well above inflation. Savings accounts have averaged under 1%. One grows wealth, the other slowly drains it. Now some people point to high-yield savings accounts paying 4–5% today. And yes, those are better. If inflation is lower than your interest rate, your money can grow slightly in real terms. But those rates are temporary. They rise and fall with Federal Reserve policy. Historically, high yields don't last. And even when they do, they still cannot compete with long-term investing. A savings account growing at 1–2% real return might double your purchasing power in 35–50 years. A diversified stock investment growing at 7–8% real return can double in about 9–10 years. Over decades, the difference isn't small. It's life-changing. This doesn't mean cash is useless. Cash has a purpose. It's essential for emergency funds, short-term expenses, planned purchases within the next 1–2 years, peace of mind during market volatility. But beyond that, excess cash becomes a liability. A good framework is simple. Calculate your monthly expenses. Multiply by 6. That's your emergency fund. That money belongs in a high-yield savings account. Everything beyond that should be positioned for long-term growth. Because keeping large amounts of idle cash isn't conservative. It's expensive. If you truly want to escape the savings account trap, action matters more than awareness. Start by defining how much cash you actually need. Then invest the excess. Ensure your savings earn competitive interest. And automate your investing so money doesn't sit idle by default. Most people believe they're being careful with money. But caution that ignores inflation isn't safety. It's slow decay. You're not protecting money by hiding it from volatility. You're exposing it to guaranteed erosion. The illusion works because the damage is invisible. Once you see it, you can't unsee it. And once you understand it, you can finally make your money work for you instead of quietly shrinking year after year.